Hello and welcome to Cutter Farms. We're back with another episode of our Westby, Wisconsin single player Let's Play series here. We've finished chopping all of the sorghum that we had out in the field there, the milo, and we're getting these trailers emptied into the staves here so that we can start making some silage out of this. I can't wait to get our cows set up. That is the goal of today's episode, is to get some dairy cows going on our farm here. And so as quickly as possible here, we're going to get all of this material moved out and get the yard cleaned up a little bit. We've added a couple of additional mods to the server here, or I should say to the farm here. We do have a new John Deere Moco mower over here that we're going to be using, and that's going to be our primary mower for the time being. And then I have swapped out the rake to get a Frontier rake over here from Wade Mitch modding. We got tired of using that new Holland. It was a really cool mod, very appropriate style mod, but I'm looking for something that's going to cover a little bit more ground. We were going to be raking for days. We've got tons of straw left to rake up, and so we're going to be busting this thing out here at some point. And then I have yet to find a good American style tedder. In fact, I'd prefer if I could find just a rake that would turn it over and ted at the same time. But for the time being, we're going to be using the base game tedder here to knock out the grass that we're going to cut here, because we need to get ourselves a bit of hay if we're going to bring some cows onto the farm. I'd like to be able to maximize our profits right out of the gate, so we've got to get the hay going here. We've already got the straw in the barn here. We've got some silage. If we take a quick look at the production chains menu here, we don't have a ton of silage, but we've got enough to get started here. And as time goes by, we're going to continue converting this chaff into silage. So we've got more than enough chaff here, I think, to feed a handful of cows through the winter months. And let's be honest, we could do some haylage here if we needed to, and put some grass into one of these staves and have that get converted into silage for us. So with this all emptied out, we are going to hop out and make sure we shut off the other tractor here. We don't need this 40/40 running for too long while we're off doing the grass, and we're just going to drop this trailer off right on over here next to the other one here. This 4240 is going to be getting quite the workout in this series. It's turned into kind of our standard tractor. I do want to get the 4955 going on some tillage again, but we've got to pick up all that straw. But before we get to picking up straw and doing all that, I want to definitely get some hay going. I want cows, and I want them delivered today. And in order to do that, we've got to get some hay going here. So we've got the mower all hooked up here, and I think what we're going to do, we've got quite a few grass fields. So let's take a quick look at our map here. You can see all of these grass areas here around our farm. This is some pretty hilly area on either sides of these two fields, and I don't really want to do this really large area. Maybe we'll come out here by the road and do this. It's fairly straight, so it won't be too much goofing off around the curves and stuff. I think that's going to be where we're going to head. Give us a look at something a little bit different. Get away from the farm for a bit. We have been working right up here and around the farm. I do this small patch right here, except I don't want to accidentally run over our soybeans there. Our soybeans should be ready to harvest next month. We're right on the edge of the harvest season for those soybeans, and so we're not going to risk it. We'll cut this grass afterwards. We've got so many jobs we can be doing here throughout the fall that I'm not worried about hitting every single grass field we have right now. If we really want to get into being efficient, I think next year we'll be able to get a few cuts of grass. But I think for what we're doing here, even just this one field is going to be enough to do our cows for a while. So let's bring up the menu here. This is the first time I'm using this mower. I think I've got a option to put it on either side of me. I think we're going to go for the right-hand side. I'm not sure what all the settings are, but we'll try this out. We'll get it turned on, drop it down here, and off we go. It looks like it's working like a champ. no problems, and it's a nice speedy mower too. 13 miles an hour. We're going to cover some ground here, thankfully. So let's go ahead and jump into a bit of a time lapse. We'll knock out some of this grass here. So we're on the last, well, I think the last round here on this grass. Maybe we've got a little tiny bit we'll have to pick up, but this mower actually worked really well for us today. It's a little bit faster than I was expecting. We're mowing at 13 miles an hour here, and so we haven't had any issues with covering this ground pretty quickly here, which has been nice. And it moves side to side pretty well, so I can kind of mow how I want, and kept going back and down from these long strips. I don't know that in real life I would do this much changing the mower from side to side. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'd probably just kind of keep driving around the field, to be honest, but this worked out really well for us today. Definitely impressed with the speed and the fact that this thing is fairly wide. So we're all done mowing this grass here. We're gonna go grab the tedder and help this dry out a little bit. The wonderful thing about playing with the seasons in FS22 is we're still in August. All of this is happening within a month's time, so we don't have to feel too guilty about the fact that we're going to go ahead and immediately ted this grass. We can just mentally pretend that we've let a few days go by here and that it's dried out a bit naturally. And we're going to flip it over here, rake it up, and get it into our hayloft over here. I think the other thing that we're going to need on the farm here at some point soon is a pressure washer. We're starting to get a little bit dirty with this equipment. Something tells me I had put one on the farm at some point here, but I can't recall if we did or not. And if we did, I'm not sure where it is exactly. So I'm going to keep my eye open for that on the way out. One of the downsides of playing this map for my multiplayer series as well is losing track of where we're putting things. I'm not seeing a pressure washer anywhere. I'm pretty sure I would have put it right up here in the front of the shed, so that's all right. We're just gonna get this 4240 a little bit dirtier anyway, so definitely not seeing a pressure washer. We'll have to get one on the farm here probably after this episode. We'll get one before we move out of the month of August here. We'll try and keep our equipment clean at least every in-game season here, but for today we've got to get this hay going. I'm really excited, so let's get out here to the field. So we've got this tedder all set up and going out here in the grass field. Given that we just did a full montage on this field with the mowing, I don't know that we're going to cover the entire job here today in the video for tedding. So we may just cut through some of this, but I did want to show off this is working pretty good. We are spreading it out quite a bit behind this tedder here, but that's all right. We've got a pretty good rake that we're going to be able to come in and pick this up with. And I think after we rake it up, I've been putting some thought into it. I think we're going to bale this because we want to put it in our hayloft. Our hayloft would accept loose. I think bales makes more sense, more realistic for that. Given that it's a bale conveyor there that we're going to load stuff up into the top of the hayloft with. But we could get our new Holland forage harvester out. We have a grass pickup head for it, and I know for a fact that you can run those forage boxes right up to that conveyor and dump loose straw and hay into there that way as well. But I think from a realism perspective, we'll go with the small bales. That's not really that much more work for us. If we were going to do silage with this grass, or haylage, I guess I should call it, I would probably use the forage harvester and the grass pickup head that we have for that. and go ahead and put that into the silos, the staves with that setup instead. However, this is going in the hayloft. We're gonna bale it. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this raking here real quick. I think we're gonna take this one pass off, and I'm just gonna go back and forth along these long rows. Looks like I can cover about 2 rows of grass here with a single pass of the tedder. So we'll knock this out pretty quick, and I'll check back in with you after we get this done. So I've come to the realization that if I want to get some cows going in this episode, I'm not going to be able to finish mowing, or I should say tedding all of this grass and get it raked and get it baled. So we took a break from tedding, and I ran on up to the farm here, and we're going to grab the 40/40 here and take a quick pass with the rake. Maybe just do 1 or 2 rounds here real quick, and then we're going to just go grab that baler, get a load of bales up to the farm here, and get a set of cows brought in, our starting set. I'm not sure how many we're going to buy. We did have to take out a small loan in able to buy all of this equipment for today's episode. The rake replacement, as well as the mower and the tedder, kind of added up to a little bit more than I was expecting. If we take a quick look at our finances, we are $25,000 in the hole, and I'm gonna have to take out a bit more of a loan to buy those cows. Now, I think I'm okay with taking out probably another $25,000 to $50,000 in loan. I don't want to have a huge loan because it's gonna be a little bit before we're making a profit. But if I buy the more expensive cows that are already to start producing milk here, rather than buying the cheaper younger cows, we can actually start bringing some money in pretty quickly here. So maybe we'll do that and not stress out about it too much, because we'll be able to pay that loan back pretty quickly. I think that's going to be my plan. So I'm going to run this back up to the other end of the field here. I think that these 1 round here with the hay is going to be enough for us to go grab that baler and get started on some bales. 1 load of bales will be more than enough for me to feel comfortable bringing in our first set of cows. So let me get to the end here, go grab that baler, and I'll check back in with you guys, and we'll see how much hay we're actually bringing in. I'm hoping 1 round is actually going to be a good amount of that bale trailer, if not the whole thing. Now, I'm not sure what the horsepower requirements are for this setup. I'm a little bit concerned that we're not going to be able to handle this much, but maybe it is. It looks like it's going. We're converting that straw bale over to hay that we had a half a straw bale in there, so that's good. And yeah, we're already kicking bales off, it looks like. We're cranking away here at 6 miles an hour, which doesn't feel too bad, feels appropriate. RPM's a little bit low, so I'm gonna gear down a couple notches and see if we can get in a better setup here. Maybe I actually need to go down into B range. See what happens here. That looks a little bit better. Looks like B range first is about right for us. A little bit too low. We're dropping into 5 miles an hour here. So if I keep it in B range second, I seem to maximize my speed. Looking good. And look at all those bales we've got in there already, folks. That's good signs. It means we're going to get plenty of hay off of this field. As long as we can make a full round here, I'm going to be happy and get back up to the barn with this load of bales. I don't know. I think we might not make it back to the other end. We'll see how it goes here. We've made it down to the end here. I don't know that I'd say we're quite half full, but we're pretty close to half full here, and so we're doing pretty good. We're almost losing those bales while I'm going around the corner here trying to pick stuff up, but luckily I haven't lost a bale yet, so we're just gonna take this all the way back down to the other end. We'll have more than enough hay here to get things started. So we've wrapped up that last pass here. We're not quite full. We're, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way full here. And so I'm going to run this back up to the farm here. I did notice our clothing options had gotten reset to some weird defaults, but we got that changed back here as well. Gotta have our John Deere hoodie, and we've got the wrong hat on. We'll have to adjust our hat here at a different time, but I do like the clothing options that they've added to FS22. It's cool to be able to customize your character a little bit more here. And we're right up here in the yard. Hopefully I've left this gate open and the conveyor down. I knew we were going to be doing some hay. It does look like we've left everything all set up here. So let's see if we can pull on through here. I'm really hoping that it was going to take these bales for me. Oh no, it's not taking my bales. I wonder why that is. Is this only for straw? That's going to be unfortunate if it's only for straw. We're going to fold it up and put it back down just in case that's affecting things. Now, I did update the map since last time I did this. There we go. I think I just needed to reset that trigger. I updated to the latest version of the map here, and sometimes little things like that catch you, and we're just backing up because we had one bale in the chute there still that I wanted to get out. So with that, we've now got a fair amount of hay here in this barn. I'm going to go ahead and just leave this thing parked right here, and I want to check in on this. I think if we bring our feed cart in under here, we're going to be able to make some TMR here out of all of our stuff. So we'll use the 4040 here since it's the tractor we've got up in the yard, and honestly probably the best fit for getting into some of those tight spaces. So let's swing all the way around the yard here and get our mixer wagon. And with our mixer wagon in tow here, we're gonna need to bring it around and into this barn right here. I believe we've got this end door open. I'm going to go ahead and tip our bucket down. I don't want to accidentally fill the front bucket of the tractor with any of these fill planes. And so I think this first section right here is going to be where we get the stuff out of the top silo. There we go. Start filling. I've got hay. I've got straw up here, so we're gonna get some hay to start with. I'm watching at the bottom there to see how much we're putting in. I think we're gonna go up to about 25% here, and then we're gonna stop filling. It looks like I can put equal amounts of silage in. I've got some straw filler, and then we can put some mineral feed in. So I'm gonna try and put some straw in here now as well, because we've got a lot of straw. I'll probably take this up until I get to about 40%, maybe a little bit less, because I don't know how much silage we've got ready, and I would really hate to lose out on our ability to fill this up because we don't have any silage. So I'm looking to see where my silage fulfill point is. I think I might need to get a little bit closer to the silos over here. So we're gonna back up a smidge. So I don't have anything in that silo. I think it's this one up here that I can get out of, and because that's just silage, it's gonna start filling immediately here. And look at that, we're getting into the mix percentages. I'm gonna stop about there because we don't have a lot of silage, and we're gonna hop out and open this garage door. Now this big bucket on here is gonna be a problem, so I'm gonna try and actually back up a bit and see if I can swing a little bit wider away from this silo. Maybe we'll back it up here. Didn't think this through. Maybe we'll leave the loader off of this tractor when we're doing feed in the future, but not a problem. We got out just fine. And we need to get some of this mineral feed ground up. We're gonna use our oats. So we're gonna disconnect our feed cart and get this grinder out here real quick. So with the grinder in tow, what we need to do is get some oats out of this bin here that we tossed all the oats into. So we're gonna get this Meridian auger fired up here, and we should be able to just toss this hopper right under here, something like so. Oh, we're gonna have a hard time getting it under there. Hopefully this thing is gonna work regardless. There we go. We can start filling, and we're looking for our oats. Start, and then I'm gonna jump out here and we're gonna fill this mixer up with some oats. Now I gotta swing around here if I recall, because the auger is on the right side there for filling this up. We're going to have a little bit of shenanigans here to try and pull this off, I think. So if I push Z, I'll get our auger out here, and then I'm really hoping that we could put this in here directly. It looks like that's not gonna happen, so instead we're gonna do a lot of shuffle here. We're gonna go get the gravity wagon and get that set up to get the oats out of the bin, and then we'll go from the gravity wagon into this. I'm almost positive that's gonna work. So luckily we've got our pickup sitting right here on the gravity wagon still. So we'll just rock this thing right on over here. We might have to raise this auger up a smidge. Let's see if we can sort that out. Something like that ought to work. The oats going again. And if we pull this up here, there we go. We've got oats coming through. That's probably enough, actually, so I'm gonna stop filling. Oh, this thing holds all kinds of oats in it. Hopefully we got everything out of the auger. We did. Good deal. I want to make sure we've turned off the auger, though. There we go. Auger is shut down, and we can bring these oats around 10,000 liters of oats. I think we're gonna have more than we need to fill up this grinder. That's all right. We'll see how this goes. Everything's a learning experience today, and without any problems whatsoever, right into the grinder here. We hop back into the grinder. We can see what we're filling this thing up with oats. Loving it. Looks like this is going to hold right on about 4,000 liters of oats. So now we'll take this grinder over here, and this should output mineral feed. So let's see if we can bring the pipe out here for the mineral feed. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a mouse control here. Can raise it up, move it all around. Super flexible. And just like that, we're tossing this into the feed wagon. Now, I'm nervous about putting too much into there. We don't have a vehicle hooked up to that right now. So I'm going to have to jump out and move this tractor around. Ideally, we would have the 4240 up here in the yard to help us out and not have to do everything with one tractor here. But as usual, I'm lazy and impatient, so we're going to go ahead and just do this this way. And that actually looks perfect. We got about 10% of the mineral feed there and pretty equal amounts of the others. Lots of straw in there to keep our costs down. We got a ton of straw we're going to be able to use. And so I'm going to take this over here. We're going to buy some cows, and we're going to see what 7,000 liters of feed is going to do for us. Hopefully something here. Hopefully something. I am mildly curious if I'm going to be able to put this feed in here right now before we even buy the cows. It looks like we are. So I'm going to go ahead and load this up and jump out here. I believe the purchase window for our cows is right on the other side of this gate here. There we go. Looking price of a Holstein. Oh my goodness, $1,550. So I said I wanted to take out a loan here. So I'm going to go ahead and take us up to 100K for our loan, I believe. And we're going to spend all of that money on Holsteins. So I'm looking at 79K in the bank. Let's see, I can put 80 in here. I don't want more than 40 because when these have babies, they'll duplicate and fill up that space. So 40 cows is going to be perfect for us. Boom. Just like that, we've got cows on the farm. Not exactly a ton of feed here for them. We're going to need quite a bit more feed. And it looks like they're pulling on the straw from the hayloft, maybe? I'm not sure. But they do need straw here to be productive. So we're in a pretty good spot. We're definitely going to have to keep hitting that hay and silage and get some more food made up for them soon. But I'm hoping the hassle of keeping the food going here is going to be offset by making a fair amount of money off of the dairy. So with that, we have managed to finally get some cows going on our dairy farm here. We can say we're officially dairy farmers in Wisconsin now. So I'm very, very excited to see some cows walking around here in the barn. We're going to get things going and check back in with you next episode for some more fun here in Westby, Wisconsin. That's all for today. Ketterk out. What the heck happened here? It looks like the hitch is all spun around. My goodness. Like this whole joint is just completely messed up. Why didn't I put GPS in this tractor? Stuck on the fence.